Well, we've got the Envy, Tuyaknife Envy 3, and it is a Dave Warren DW3. So NV3, DW3, however you want to refer to it. This, my friends, is not a titanium frame lock flipper, is it? No frame lock, liner lock, carbon fiber, contoured, and you can see the red and the black. And I've seen pictures of other colors on their Facebook. I'll give you the link to the Facebook. I'll give you the link to, of course, Tuyaknife US sales, their website where you buy the knives from him. And wow, this is a change up because it's not a frame lock. And being carbon fiber, it doesn't feel that heavy. And it's definitely a big change from the NV1. Then they had the NV2. So blade shape changed between the NV1 and the NV2, because on the NV1 they had a fuller, it ran along here, and more of a Tanto type look to it. But here we go. This is a multi-grind. It looks like a hollow grind here and then a flat when you get out to that tip, and the tip being pretty robust. It's M390 steel. We've tested the M390 for Tuyaknives, yes, and the last one we tested was, yes, it was real M390, of course, but the HRC was a 60, which is right in the green zone. That's good. A lot of M390 out there just not getting quite to the 60. But yes, these were, and got a thumb ramp here, palm swell. Ergos are good on this knife, and then you got this cutaway here so you can hike up on that with this thumb ramp. And will it cut anything? Let's find out. Yes, it's sharp. And it comes in a box, a hard plastic box, which is pretty cool. What comes in the box? Well, you got Dave, the U.S. distributor, sales and service, all that. Microfiber cloth, we'll take that, not a problem. And then, of course, the plastic that the knife comes in. It all snaps together in the hard box here. That's great. I like that. I like those hard plastic cases. It's a good quality, very structural, protects your knife. This thing is centered up. Looks like the blade to handle length is plenty. It's all it needs to be, that's for sure. Now, if you're gonna fidget with this, also notice that you can't really get right up on here. And I need to, okay, there, disengage the liner like that. But see, it's not over the detamp ball, so you got to disengage it further back here. Once you do that, then it'll drop. And we'll take this apart, take a look at it. Inside, I believe, ceramic bearings, all that. Actually, the plunge looks pretty good, pretty symmetrical there. And I like the fact that it's a balanced look front to back on this knife. Right hand tip up only. Pocket clip is pretty understated here, so it's not overwhelming the design. And then, of course, the titanium backspacer has an area for lanyard to go through. Machined pivot on the front, the back as well, and there's where your access is to being able to disassemble the pivot. Yeah, not a problem at all. You just can't get up too close up in here. You got to get back so you can just drop it. So you get back a ways. That flipper tab will still hit you in the thumb, so the blade doesn't swing around and hurt ya, cut ya, whatever. And let's get a weight on this thing. 3.69 ounces. 104 grams. So not very heavy. It's not a big knife, but the blade's reasonably decent. It depends on where you want to measure it. If you want to measure it up to the closest point, you're talking about 3¼ inches at what, 80 centimeters. But if you want to measure cutting length, it's about 80, centimeters, millimeters. It's 85 millimeters here. And it can be as long as, 3.5, 3.6 to the middle of that choil. So however you want to measure that. And then overall, let's get an overall here. 7 3/4. It's between 19.5 and 20 centimeters long. So probably 19.65 centimeters. How thick is the handle? 12.6 at 0.49. Let's see if it changes. And it kind of looks like it might, because maybe it swells out here a little bit because of that contour. But if you just measure it, that's 0.5, 0.49. Nah, not much change there. No, 0.49, 0.5. So now I guess that is a little deceptive. It doesn't really get bigger in the middle. 0.15, 3.9 millimeters, and they said 3.8. Now, I'll give you the link to this, to his Facebook, where you can look at, well, this came off his Instagram, I'm sorry, but he said 3.8, that's close, M39, but he said 3.66 inch blade edge, and no, a blade length 3.34, probably 3.25, and overall is 7 3/4, not 7.27. So and it does not weigh 4.7. That's an ounce heavier than it actually weighs. So I don't know. Dave, it's the same knife. Yes. My measurements, we do them because we just want to double check. And in this case, no, it's not a 7 1/4 inch length knife. It's 7 3/4 inches. And then the blade, depending on where you want to measure it, is really a 3.2 to a 3.45 inch blade. And cutting edge is at least 3 1/4. Nice hollow grind on here. It's a good looking knife. I like the design. And this is a design that Dave did. Dave lives in the good old USA, and so he's a guy that I like supporting with his endeavor on the Tuyaknife brand. And it drops right away. It's nice looking. Let me see where my balance is. Right there. Easy to find that. And I did take a magnet to this not too long ago, and you can feel that these liners obviously are steel, so we didn't have to do titanium with an insert and all that. And then you can see the number. This is number 38, so they're numbered. Of course, this is not a magnetic, but it looks, well, I can't tell about the hardware because I'm feeling the liners here, which is nice that they've got liners here. It reinforces the carbon fiber. Don't know that you need that upper liner, to tell you the truth. Maybe, maybe not, but you're going to have something to support the stop here, at some point. So you do need a little metal reinforcement. Did you need it all the way? I don't know. And is it really that important? No, not really, because it's a fairly lightweight knife on its own, just considering the carbon fiber construction. Good looking. I don't know if the red varies based, changes from knife to knife on how this is done, this red carbon fiber. So I don't know if some will be a little bit more red and some will be a little darker. I don't know. This one depends on the light that, it's reflecting. Sometimes it looks a little just more like a gray, and then other times it'll look more reddish. It changes based on the angle of the light to it. So it's really kind of entertaining from that perspective. But I've always liked the Envy. It's always been a nice knife as far as the ergos go, balance goes. This thumb ramp, it's easy to get a hold of. You can actually go forward on it. It's not overly large. So it's a good knife. And he was telling me that he's going to run a deal on these with the boot knife together. And with the LTK, use LTK discount code. With the discount code, you get the boot knife, which is also it's a small knife, like 6 inches overall, so it'll be kind of a neck knife, boot knife. Comes with a sheath. It's a D2 knife. So both of them together for $217 total out the door. There's what the boot knife / neck knife looks like, and that's solid D2 in that sheath, but it just sits in your hand, so it's not very big. You could use it either way, and that's what it looks like. Another picture right here. So 6 inches all in, solid piece of D2 steel. Another item that he has on his site, and I just wanted to throw this out there, are these nice sheaths. He has leather sheaths, but they have a clip installed in them. Okay, so you've got a metal clip. You could clip that into your pocket, yet you have the leather sheath. So you can use it on a variety of knives. And the clip slip is still in transit to Dave, so he doesn't have them in hand yet, but look for those to arrive. I do like these clip slips. I've seen them that other people have manufactured in the past, and I really do like these, especially if you have slip joint knives with no pocket clip, etc. And yes, they work great. Take a look at, there's your pass-through, okay, for disengaging the liner. Okay, that lockup is at least 35%, okay, and it's fairly stiff lock bar. This doesn't just let go that easily, especially when you're back here and you're dropping that. I get a little, well, my thumb's messed up anyhow, but I'll get a little mark right there, dent there, because that's not, it doesn't just fall away, which I guess is a good thing because it stays in position, but it's relatively stiff. So it's not maybe as just intuitively easy fidget factor as some other knives, but not bad. Not bad. I guess that'd be my biggest bitch, but I don't know what you do about it. Regardless. But see, you can see I try and drop it, but it's not over the detent ball. So it's back here. Still, no danger of getting your thumb cut, because that flipper tab still hits your thumb. And the flipper tab, it's not overly large, and it's jimped. The fit and finish is pretty darn good. I'm not catching any edginess, problems around these scales, and that's where I'd look for it is, if it got edgy around here, just kind of felt a little unfinished, but no. I mean, it doesn't look overly beveled on these inside edges, but if you try and feel, it doesn't feel sharp or anything. It feels very neutral, no problem. So, yeah, it's nice. So let's take it apart. Number 8 here, okay, and they look like number 6s, don't they? But they're number 8s. Wow, is that a number 8? Yeah, it is. Wow, that's crazy. Okay, that's good though. I like it. I'm glad he did that. But a lot of knives still are running the number 6s out on the body, and I don't like that. I mean, this makes better contact. So this is good. Well, these two little dogs, they look the same size, so not a problem. And, there we go. And there's your liner on the inside. Of course, your pocket clip comes through from the front. Pretty good, pretty clean. I'll see a D shape right here. So probably has a D-shaped pivot. There's our stop, blade stop. And yes, we do have a D-shaped pivot. And we got ceramic bearings. And they're hiding out down here too. So that's good. Pretty simple. Nothing complicated there. All right, I mean, this is the disassembled knife. Just not much to it. You've got, of course, your detent ball track as well. And then, I mean, you just got your ceramic bearings, liners, scales, and then you got your pivot plus 2 body screws, and that's it. It looks very, very simple. And there's your back spacer, which, you know, will slide right off if you need it to. Come from the front with the pivot, and of course it's a D-shaped pivot at the very end there, so let's see where we need that to fall on the back. Okay, yeah, it faces the tail end, so we want it to pivot like that. We throw a bearing in there and put a little bit of juice, don't need much. Put the blade on here, but then we need to put the stop as well. Right back in there. Come here. There you go. Bearings back on. Okay, just trying to find a drop coming out. Okay, so right back on. Ceramic detent ball, if you notice that as well. There you go. Just got to find where that little D shape kicks in there. Okay. Now we're all put together. And let's get this locked down at least some. I guess the good thing about this carbon fiber is, you know, you're not going to get snail trails like you do on titanium. So I would think it'll maintain a nice look to it for longer. I guess I'll find out. Yeah, I think this knife would be interesting as well with maybe a gold-colored pocket clip and backspacer. Might be interesting. You know, by the way, that must be titanium, so you could even anodize those as well, a different color. Yeah, same here. It's not magnetic at all, the screw or the surround here, so none of that's magnetic. Back with the Tuyaknife Envy 3. Liner lock. Carbon fiber. Titanium hardware. M390 blade. Ceramic bearings. Ceramic detent. It's all good. Lightweight. Easy to carry. Great little EDC. At a great price with $217, and you get the boot knife and the boot knife sheath with the whole deal. Sounds good to me. I'm going to let you go. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. We love them knives, so you guys stay sharp.